my channel. Like and subscribe. Bye.
Hi friends, I'm Morgan, the Nerdy Cowgirl, and welcome back to my channel. So today, I've got a special guest with me, my husband, Michael, the not-so-nerdy country boy. And today, he is going to pick my TBR. Do you want to introduce yourself?
This is so weird.
Merritt will show you.
Get out.
I'm
Mike. I'm the Nerdy Cowgirl's husband. I'm the one that has to endure her hiding away all the time and always reading her books. But that's okay.
He's going to pick 4 or 5 books out of my TBR behind me, and there's some on the table as well. But he's going to pick me 4 or 5 books for me to read, and then we will come back together and I'll tell him which ones are my favorite, what I liked about them, you know, a little bit of a synopsis about them, and then, yeah. So I just thought it'd be fun to include him on my channel. Alright, so I'm going to let him pick.
Alright, let's see. What's this bad boy? I'm going to have to read the back of these because I don't know nothing about them.
Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Oh man. I've been wanting to read the Silmarillion.
The story of the creation of the world in the first age. That sounds good to me. We'll go with that one.
Alright. He picked J.R.R. Tolkien's Silmarillion for my first book.
They wrote a book about us.
Oh.
The perfect couple.
The perfect couple.
Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Alright, number 2 is The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. I think this one, is this one a murder mystery? That's a chunker too.
The Cruel Prince.
You want to do that one?
It seems kind of boring. I'm going to torture you with that one.
Alright, number 3 is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black.
I feel like these are supposed to be together, though. I don't want you to read one without the others.
That's a series.
Well.
But this one is a standalone, and the bottom one is Jane Eyre. That's a classic.
It's a classic? Mm-hmm. You haven't ever read this?
No.
Yeah, I'm all about old stuff, so we'll go with the classic.
Oh, man. And then he chose Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. You want to pick me one more?
Another one?
Just in case.
Those are all a series, aren't they?
Yes.
That's another Tolkien.
Beren and Luthien.
He's a mortal man, but Luthien and a mortal elf.
That's what Aragorn and Arwen are based off of.
I like that.
Beren and Luthien.
You read that one first.
Okay. Alright, so last he picked Beren and Luthien by J.R.R. Tolkien. Alright, so that is all 5 books that he chose for me to read.
I told her I'd agree to pick these books because I don't really read much myself, but just kind of blind picking for her. So we'll see if she likes them or not.
So we appreciate his support on this channel because I know it's weird to randomly start a YouTube channel, but
not weird.
But he supports us. He takes care of us. All right.
We'll be seeing you when we review them.
Yep. I'll get started on these books, and then we'll come back together and see how they were. See you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I am here with an update. I have just started, and I am starting with the Silmarillion. I am in a Tolkien board, or a Tolkien group, and some other book groups on Facebook. And I asked people who have read these books which they preferred reading first, the Silmarillion or Beren and Luthien. And some people actually sent me a reading order for like the other ones, like The Fall of Numenor and The Fall of Gondolin and Children of Hurin. So I might try and read those after I read all the books that Michael picked for me. But yeah, most of them said start with the Silmarillion. And then some even said to start with the Silmarillion, and then when you get to the Beren and Luthien part, read Beren and Luthien then, and then finish the Silmarillion, because they said it would just help with the immersion, and you get information about Beren and Luthien that you don't get from the Silmarillion, and vice versa. So I'm starting with Silmarillion. I just got through the preface, which took a long time because there's a letter from Tolkien, and I was explaining everything basically. And so yeah, we started Silmarillion, and I will let you guys know an update on it soon. Hey guys, so quick update. I am about halfway through the Silmarillion. I have finished the Beren and Luthien part, which basically just gives you an overview of their story, which was really cute and really beautiful. I loved it. I loved their story. No wonder they made a secondary one, or made a elaborated version, because that's what I'm guessing, assuming, gathering from the preface of this book, is that this is just a more in-depth tale of Beren and Luthien from the Silmarillion. So I have already started it, or I started the preface and like the first couple chapters, and the only thing about this one is that it is like the names are a little different. Of course, Beren is still the same, and Luthien is still going by Tinuviel, which is what in the Silmarillion it made it sound like is what like Beren decided to call her, but in this one it just is calling her Tinuviel. And then like her father isn't Thingol in this; it is like Gwyntel or something like that. But anyways, so her dad is called something else. Like all the places are other names, and in the preface he like makes mention of that, but it is a little bit confusing because I'm like, wait a minute, I learned that name before and now you're using a different name. But I'm figuring it out. All right, so as far as the Silmarillion, I am really loving it. It is kind of dry, but it's also not. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But I am, I guess, kind of cheating a little bit. I'm listening to the audiobook as well, just to make sure that I get the names, like the pronunciations, right. And then I'm also reading the physical copy too. I don't know. It just makes me, now I know how to spell it. Now I know how to pronounce it. So now, like, when I see it again, I'll, recognize it. I don't know. And the audiobook is narrated by Andy Serkis, who played Gollum and Smeagol in the Peter Jackson trilogy.
If Baggins loses, we eats it whole.
So that was pretty cool. But I am loving this book, though. It is really cool. It's really cool. Hey, guys. So a little update about Beren and Luthien. I finished it all yesterday. All in one day I finished it. And it was good. But it just kind of repeated the same thing that Silmarillion was telling me, and it was kind of confusing because some of the names were changing randomly. And it explained why in like the preface and in like other parts of the book, but it also like jumped around a lot. It was just it bounced around a little bit, and you can tell he was trying to put it all in order and trying to give it some order, but it was difficult for him because it was just supposed to be like scribbled notes that J.R.R. Tolkien had left around and stuff. But I love the story of Beren and Luthien, and you did get something different from the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion didn't mention Beren getting taken by the Prince of Cats, which I guess are like these giant cats, and they're like running this town or this place for Morgoth, and they capture him and have him like doing hard labor, or I guess not hard labor, but like doing labor around their camp and stuff. Like he was helping in the kitchens, and I forget what other stuff he was doing, but and Luthien had to go and capture him. I don't remember that from the Silmarillion. But so I'm about to go back into the Silmarillion. Again, I'm halfway through the Silmarillion, so hopefully I'll finish it soon too. But I think I like the Silmarillion better because it's actually kind of going chronologically. Like I said before, it's not like completely chronological. Well, I mean it is, but it'll throw in little nuggets every now and then. Is like, you know, like when it's talking about Barahir, Beren's dad, it'll say like Barahir, son of Beren, and like you don't know who Beren is yet, but or father of Beren, and then you follow Barahir for a while, and you're not hearing anything about Beren, or you're not seeing Beren until you get to like Beren and Luthien. But yeah. And another fact is I didn't know that Galadriel's brother Finrod is the guy who founded Minas Tirith. Didn't know that. I wonder when he did that, because Rings of Power showed me he died. Which he did, but Morgoth killed him. Rings of Power is not canon. Hey guys, thought I would sit out here and record in front of the beautiful fall colors starting out. Yesterday was the first day of fall, and actually was a Hobbit day, which goes nicely with my reading of the Silmarillion and Beren and Luthien. Although, you know, the Hobbits were barely mentioned in the Silmarillion. But today I finished the Silmarillion, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Definitely would read. So my reading order of it would be Hobbit, then the main trilogy, and then the Silmarillion. And I really did enjoy reading the Beren and Luthien story in the middle, like right after I read the Beren and Luthien chapter in this. It gave a little more information, which made their story a little more fleshed out, I guess. But yeah, so I would recommend that. And I would also recommend, I assume that if you do that with the rest of the stories too, like Children of Hurin, Fall of Gondolin, Fall of Numenor. Is there one more? There might be one more that I'm missing. But if you read those books after you read their chapters in the Silmarillion, I bet you would have the same experience. And I bet it would be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of names, a lot of places, and you know, a lot of lore in this. So you gotta love the world in order for you to love this story. But if you do love the world, this is 100% worth it. So I 100% recommend. And especially listen to the audiobook on Audible. It is narrated by Andy Serkis, and he does a wonderful job, of course. I love Andy Serkis, so it was amazing to listen to him narrate it. It made it so much more, probably adds to the reason why I love it so much, in all honesty. But yeah, so on to the next book. Hey guys, so the next book that I'm going to be reading is The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. And like I said when he was picking the books out, I think this is a murder mystery, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to read the back for you. It says, they're the perfect couple about to have the perfect wedding until a shocking discovery reveals that nothing is ever as good as it seems. Ooh. It's Nantucket wedding season, also known as summer. The sight of a bride racing down Main Street is as common as the sun setting at Mattocket Beach? Mattocket Beach? I guess that's how you say it. The Otis Winbury wedding promises to be an event to remember. The groom's wealthy parents have spared no expense to host a lavish ceremony at their oceanfront estate, but it's going to be memorable for all the wrong reasons after tragedy strikes. The maid of honor is discovered dead in Nantucket Harbor just hours before the ceremony, and everyone in the wedding party is suddenly a suspect. Ooh. As chief of police, Ed Capanash interviews the bride, the groom's famous mystery novelist mother, and even a member of his own family. He discovers that every wedding is a minefield, and no couple is perfect. featuring beloved characters from The Castaways, Beautiful Day, and A Summer Affair, The Perfect Couple proves once again that Ellen Hildebrand is the queen of the summer beach read. So I'm really excited to read this. I love whodunits. Now I haven't read any of her other books, so even though it's saying that, you know, you'll see other characters from hers, I wonder if that's going to be a problem that I haven't read any of her other stuff. Hopefully not. I wouldn't think so. But I'm excited to read it. Let's figure out who done it. Hey guys, I just read the first chapter of The Perfect Couple, and we got to, we found out who the victim is. And the victim's name is Merritt Monaco. Yeah, she was the maid of honor, and her name was Merritt. I just thought that was so funny. Sorry to come in so soon again, but so I'm just now reading the second chapter, and I think it's interesting that the first chapter was the chief of police getting the call about the body, right? Merritt's body. But the second chapter starts with his mom's POV. What are y'all doing? My horses are running like crazy. Chapter 2 starts with the groom's mother's point of view. And then after her point of view, it goes to the bride's mother's point of view. It's an interesting decision to start with the two moms of the... I don't know if you can hear my horses running in the background. It's an interesting decision to start with the two mothers of the couple before we even get to meet the couple. Interesting or suspicious? Okay, so another quick check-in. I think that when I hear people talk about not liking a narrator style in a book, I think this is the style that they're talking about. I agree, it is weird. It's really weird. Let me see if I can find where it was. Greer encounters traffic on Union Street. She should have left more time. She cannot be late for the Otises. Greer has yet to meet either of Celeste's parents in person, and she would like to make a good impression and not leave them to wander forlornly around Strait Wharf on their first trip to the island. Greer had worried about hosting a wedding so close to the 4th of July, but it was the only weekend that worked over the course of the entire summer, and they couldn't put it off until autumn because Karen, Celeste's mother, has stage 4 breast cancer. No one knows how much time she has left. But do you hear how it's like, it doesn't flow. It doesn't have a flow. Like, here's another example. It says, Karen needs to adjust her attitude and fast. She needs to abandon her petty jealousy, her feelings of inferiority, her embarrassment because she and Bruce aren't wealthy or sophisticated. Mostly, Karen needs to abandon the anger she feels. This anger isn't caused by Greer specifically, by any means. Karen is angry at everyone who isn't sick. Everyone except Bruce and Celeste, of course. It's just a weird narration style. I don't know. It does make it not flow very well when you're reading it. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just a nitpick. Hey guys, Editing Morgan here. So I think I didn't get my point across very clear right here. So what I was trying to say is it was strange to be in third person where they're saying Greer does this, Karen does that, but then be getting their internal monologue as well, like we were in first person. Do you know what I mean? It's saying Greer feels like this, Karen feels like this, Karen shouldn't be mad at everybody who's not sick, where the feeling like everybody's not sick, it's like she's talking to herself, but she's talking to herself in third person, if that makes sense. So that's what made me so confused, and that's what made it really hard for me to appreciate this narration style. I hope that makes more sense. I hope that makes it a little bit
clearer as to what I was trying to say. But okay, back to the video.
I haven't really got into the story yet. Right now, I've just gotten the chief of police in the first chapter, you know, finding out who the victim is, and then I got the two mothers' POVs in the second chapter. Okay, so the bride and groom are Celeste and Benji. And Celeste's parents are Karen and Bruce Otis, and Benji's parents are Greer and Tag Winbury. And I don't know, I just think that's a weird choice not to start with Benji and Celeste. Not to get to know them before we get to know their parents or their family. It's a weird decision. I don't know why I'm so weirded out by that. I don't know. Hey guys, me again. So, I feel like I just keep nitpicking this book, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's out of my comfort zone, which I'm kind of thinking about doing a video about that, like reading a bunch of books that are out of my comfort zone. But another thing that bothers me about this book is, like, I'm on page 120, 138, and I'm in Celeste's POV, and she's just starting to date Benji. And, like, she's talking about her parents, and she's calling them Karen and Bruce. Like, it's weird. Who calls their parents by their names? And, you know, when she's talking to them, she doesn't even call them mom and dad. And she calls them Betty and Mac, like MacGyver. Like, and then she's trying to say that they have such a close relationship, and they're like, it's such a tight-knit family, but she doesn't even call them mom and dad. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. I think it's weird. But we still haven't really got into, like, the nitty-gritty. Like, I feel like we're, I don't know, still building it up. We still haven't met Celeste and Benji in the current time period, or the current present day. We still haven't met them. It's the detectives, like, interviewing other people. It's weirdly set up. I don't know if it's supposed to be suspicious or not. I'm gonna let her cook, but there's a lot that's, like, makes me like, that's weird. That's weird. Why? I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to keep my, I don't even know what you call it. I'm trying to keep my opinions about, there's a spider coming for me. You see that? You see that? Go away, little baby spider. Okay, I set it on the dog cage right there. The little baby spider. Okay, anyways, I'm trying to keep my opinions on a leash and let Ellen cook. I'll check back in later if I have another complaint or if things start getting better. And yeah, so I'm thinking maybe it's just a choice, and I'll like it in the end. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
What does this mean? What does that mean?
Again, I'm like 250 pages in. Still haven't met present day Celeste and Benji. Okay, so 260 pages in, and we finally meet present day Celeste for the first time. One of the detectives comes to interview her at the hospital, and we finally get to meet her in present day, and she gives us nothing. Nothing really. I mean, she just tells us that Merritt is sleeping with. We already knew that. And then she just says that she was with Tag and Thomas and Featherly under the tent before Celeste went up to bed. So, nothing. Good morning, guys. I don't know if it is this hurricane rolling in or what it is, but I'm feeling kind of so I'm gonna try and make this quick. But last night I finished The Perfect Couple, and I rated it 2 stars. The end was not very satisfying to me. The narration style was weird. I didn't like any of the characters, and it just didn't do anything for me. I don't really know. I don't really know the point of the whole thing. I don't know. But I finished it. But today I start Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I'm excited for this one. I did see the movie like a million years ago. The one with, oh, what's her name? It's like Conalana Lakovich. Shoot. It's the girl from Crimson Peaks and Michael Fassbender and the guy from King Kong. Oh shoot, now I can't remember his name either. And I used to know his name. I watched the movie a million years ago, but I have no memory of the plot or anything that happens in that movie. I have no idea. So I'm excited to start Jane Eyre. Hey guys, so just a quick check-in for Jane Eyre. I'm about 50 pages in on Jane Eyre, so I'm not that far, but I'm confused. I thought Jane Eyre was a romance, but the first 50 pages have just been her being abused by her benefactress and her benefactress's kids. And really the staff too. Like, she talks about not liking the staff either because they're mean to her too. But they're all mean to her because she's a weird kid. You know, she's quiet and keeps to herself, and they think that's weird. I don't know. They are, it's like they just like mistrust her. She told the doctor that she wanted to go to school.
School? You going to school?
So now she's going to go to school. But I don't know if he was the headmaster of the school or I don't know who he was, but comes to Gateshead and meets Jane and with her benefactress, and her benefactress, Mrs. Reed, is she tells him that Jane is deceitful and that she's a liar, and this is like the first time that Jane stands up for herself to Mrs. Reed. And she's like, you know I'm not deceitful. And to my surprise, Mrs. Reed takes it. And just like is like, you're going, just calm down, you're going. I don't know. I thought it was a romance. So I thought we would be either like meeting a kid who she's gonna be like, again, I don't remember the story for Jane Eyre at all. And so I thought, you know, when it started as her being a kid, I was like, okay, so maybe we're gonna meet another kid who they have like this long relationship with, and you know, she falls in love with. But so far that hasn't happened. I don't know where the story's going because I don't remember the storyline. So we'll see. Hey guys, so I am on chapter 8 or page 69. I think I've found the theme of this book, or what, like why we've gotten so much of her like abusive backstory, and maybe I still feel like this was supposed to be a romance. Why did I say it like a romance? A romance. And so I don't know if this will play into the romance, or maybe it's not even a romance. Maybe I'm just kidding myself. Jane is talking to a little girl at the school. She's a little bit older than her, and she gets in trouble a lot, and she sees her get punished a lot, and she comes up to her and she's like, why do you get punished so much, and what are you doing? And it turns out that she's just distracted and you know, isn't paying attention sometimes. She daydreams, you know, same. So she gets in trouble from the teacher for not paying attention and for not following along and stuff like that. So Jane says to her, doesn't that make you angry? Why are you saying this so calmly and acting so calm? And she's like, because there's no reason to be. She says that she lives by a, what does she call it? A creed. She holds a creed, and it's, I live in calm, looking to the end. But Jane's belief system at the moment is, you are good to those who are good to you. It is all I ever desire to be. If people were always kind and obedient to those who are cruel and unjust, the wicked people would have it all their own way. They would never feel afraid, and so they would never alter, but would grow worse and worse. When we are struck at without a reason, we should strike back again very hard. I'm sure we should. So hard as to teach the person who struck us never to do it again. And the older girl's like, you'll see when you grow older, you know, I hope you'll change your mind. Jane says, I must dislike those who whatever I do to please them, persist in disliking me. I must resist those who punish me unjustly. It is as natural as that I should love those who show me affection, or submit to punishment when I feel it is deserved. Helen, who's the girl she's talking to, says heathens and savage tribes hold that doctrine, but Christians and civilized nations disown it. And Jane is like, how? I don't understand. It is not violence that best overcomes hate, nor vengeance that most certainly heals injury. And Jane's like, what then? Helen says, read the New Testament and observe what Christ says and how he acts. Make his word your rule and his conduct your example. Jane asks, what does he say? She says, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you and despitefully use you. And she's like, so I should love Mrs. Reed, which I cannot do. I should bless Sir John, which is impossible. And Helen goes on a lot more, you know, continues on that. And then she says, life appears to me too short to be spent in nursing animosity or registering wrongs. And I have lived my life by that. I cannot. I can't hold a grudge. I know so many people who they'll get in an argument with you, and you are dead to them. You're done. Like they don't care what happens to you. But for me, we get in an argument, we're good. We said what we needed to say. We might have disagreed. I still love you. That's it. You know, I just can't. I physically can't hold on to a grudge. I physically can't hate somebody for that long. I mean, it would have to be something so bad for me to hold on to something like that. Like I just can't. I just don't have the energy. Like she just said, it's just, life seems too short for me to be mad all the time. Because if I lived life like that, I would be mad all the time. When it's over, it's over. I may stew on it a little bit and think of things that I should have said, or could have been clearer on, but I do that all the time anyways. I do that on these videos. I'm like, I should have said this, or I should have been clearer about my point there. People are probably going to not understand what I'm saying. And that's just how my brain works, you know. It's always thinking of something. But I think it is from what I'm gathering, from what I'm assuming, this is going to be the central theme of the book, is that she's going to be treated poorly and have to realize that through her kindness is what changes that person or something, or what softens that person to her or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Hey guys, so I got a bookish package in the mail today, so I thought it'd be fun to open it on camera. So, I am still in the middle of Jane Eyre right now, so I don't know if I'll throw this in there or not. Go. I'm so excited. I can't pick it up. It's the next volume of Lore Olympus. Lore Olympus Volume 7. Oh. love it. I love it. I love it. This is one of my favorite graphic novels, I guess is what it's considered. But I actually read it when it was still on Webtoon. But I love it. Hades and Persephone. Yay! We love getting books in the mail. Hey guys, so quick update on Jane Eyre. I don't remember what I talked about in my last video or where I was in my last video. I feel like I didn't tell you guys about the rest of her stay at Lowood when she was taken to school. I think that was the last thing that I said to you guys was about school. It was really sad at the school. Her first friend that she ever made died of consumption or tuberculosis, and it was really sad. She like died in her arms. I was really sad. And then it said that she was there for 8 more years. So she went there when she was 10, and then she was a pupil for about 6 years, and then taught for 2 years. But so her favorite superintendent of the school got married and moved away. And so when she left, she was kind of like, well, that was the only reason why I liked being here. So how do I get out of here? And so she came up with the idea to put an advertisement in the paper for a governess. And someone responded, and she went to Thornfield Hall with Mrs. Fairfax reached out to her at Thornfield Hall to come and teach a little girl that's staying there. And so she met the girl, and the girl is actually from France. Is actually from Paris. And so like she mainly only speaks French, which that's one of my biggest things about this book, or that I don't quite like about it, is that little girl will say stuff in French, and I have to have my phone there and ready to search it up. And I don't know, it's just kind of a nitpick. And then she finds out that Mrs. Fairfax isn't the master of the hall, it is Mr. Rochester. I have met Mr. Rochester now. She stumbled into him on the road, didn't know it was him, and then surprise, surprise, it was Mr. Rochester when she got back home. I'm excited to see what else happens. I'm only maybe a quarter of the way through the book, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to the Cruel Prince in this video. I might save that and read the whole series for a video. I just finished recording a video of my recommendations of books with spooky vibes, since it is October and spooky season. I haven't read very many spooky books, so these are just the ones that give me the spooky vibe. It'll probably be out before this video comes out, so I'll link it in the cards somewhere, wherever that is. So if you want to check that out, you can check my spooky book recommendations. Hey guys, quick little update for you. So I have read a little bit more. So I read the part where Jane is in her room and she kind of hears this evil laugh. When she hears them walk away, she goes out to investigate. She smells smoke, and she goes and looks, and Mr. Rochester's bed is on fire, or just starting to go up in flames. And so she grabs the water, the ewer, and pours it all over him and all over his bed and stuff, and wakes him up, and basically saves his life. And then they have a little moment where he takes her hand and he's staring at her, and I forget what all he says to her and stuff. I should have marked that part, but yeah. And then the next morning, she kind of gets a little feeling, she's like, ooh, what was that? And the next morning she gets up and she's like, I'm gonna talk to him about it and figure out what that was. And he's gone, and he doesn't come back for I think a week, 10 days I think is what it said. And so she's like, it wasn't anything. Who am I to think that he would come on to me? And and now he's with his friends and stuff, and there's the beautiful Ms. Ingram, that's who he should be marrying.
not me, you know. That's who he should have a thing for, not me. So he just got back with all of his friends. He brought all of them with him. And Jane is kind of just set in the corner, and they're like bad-mouthing governesses, and she's, you know, not saying anything. She's like, really? I'm right here. And then so she kind of tries to sneak out, and Mr. Rochester, like, sneaks out behind her and, like, catches her, and he's like, where are you going? Why haven't you said anything to me? She's like, oh, well, you seemed busy. I didn't want to bother you. And, you know, he's like, it's no distraction. Come back in and talk. And she's like, no, I'm tired. I just need to go up to bed. He says, you look sick. What's wrong? And she's like, oh, nothing. I'm just tired. And he says, now go and send Sophie for Adele. Good night, Ma. He stopped, bit his lip, and abruptly left me. My what? Sir? My what, sir? What were you going to say? I gotta know. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say? I wanna know. I gotta know. My what? So now they can't get married. So that sucks. What the heck? So what's she gonna do now? What are they gonna do now? Hey guys, so I have about 100 pages left. And so Jane just up and leaves, just disappears. And she like almost dies on the road. And then she winds up at this house of Mr. St. John Rivers. And so I'm wondering, is she gonna marry him? Is she gonna fall in love with him? If it is, I don't know how I feel about that. Cause like, I don't know, Mr. St. John. He's a parson. And he took her in when she was about to die because she'd been on the road and hadn't had anything to eat or anywhere to stay for like 4 days is what she said. So yeah, I don't know where this is going. I have no idea where this story is going. It's wow. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, okay, we're with Mr. St. John now, so we'll see where this goes now. I just wanted to read this quote really quick. I really liked it, and I think it has some relevance to today's day and age and culture. I don't know. I think it has some relevance to the present times. Prejudices, it is well known, are most difficult to eradicate from the heart whose soil has never been loosened or fertilized by education. They grow there, firm as weeds among stones. Thought that was a really good quote. I really liked it. Okay, so boy was I wrong about St. John. Hey guys. So I feel like I say that every time. But I finished Jane Eyre and I gave it 5 stars. What can I say about it? I loved it. I loved the angst between her and Mr. Rochester, like when they were falling in love. I loved that she, through happenstance, but she ended up making her own wealth. I don't know. I loved it. I loved the narration. Like I loved, that she would be like, now reader, I know you're thinking this, but, and she would go through and like explain herself or, like she was like really like talking to us. And I don't know, I just loved that style and that, we got to like really like get to know her and grow up with her and stuff and, feel her loneliness when she was a kid and then to finding love and then that not working out and then finally finding the rest of her family and finally realizing that she does want to marry him and going back and realizing that now she can marry him, but he's not the same man that she left. I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful story and it was interesting. Now it's time to tell Michael how good of a picker he is. Hi guys. So we are here to go over the books that Michael picked for me.
and I'm gonna just kind of tell him a little bit of a synopsis about him, and then what I thought about him, and how good of a picker he was. So, the Cruel Prince, I didn't get to the Cruel Prince. It is part of a trilogy. So I was like, I'll just wait on this one. And I want to read other books right now. So that was my throwaway one that I didn't end up reading. But the rest of them, I'll do these two at the same time since I kind of talked about them at the same time. So Silmarillion and Beren and Luthien, I loved both of them. They were really good. The Silmarillion, it starts from like the beginning of time. Like this is like our Genesis, this is their Genesis.
Wow.
And so it starts with Iluvatar, and you know,
Is
there's
that like a Lord of the Rings type?
yeah, this is Lord. It's the Middle Earth. It's the creation of Middle Earth.
Gotcha.
And Iluvatar is kind of like our god, and he is like the head.
He's in that one.
He's the creator. Yeah, he's the creator of Middle Earth. It talks about other like wars and stuff between men and elves and dwarves and all kinds of stuff. So it's basically just a anthology. Like it's just teaching you about the history. And then Beren and Luthien, there's actually a chapter of Beren and Luthien in this, but this is like an elaborated version, and it kind of goes more in depth with it. And so Beren is a mortal man, and then Luthien is a elf.
It's a woman?
Yes, Luthien, and then he calls her Tunuviel, and she's like the most beautiful.
So that's like Aragorn and
Yes.
and what's her name?
They are actually great.
What's her name?
Arwen.
Arwen.
They are like distant relations of Aragorn.
They are?
Yes. So Aragorn comes from their bloodline.
So he has elf blood in him.
Yes. But in this story, Beren falls in love with Luthien. She's like, even in the elves, she is considered like the most beautiful. And they kind of fall in love together, but her dad won't let her marry him unless he goes and gets one of the Silmarils from Morgoth. But I gave both of these 5 stars.
Out of 5?
I loved them. And this one, there's like other stories in it too. That
Yeah.
like this one, like they have the elaborated versions, but I don't have those. But I like them a lot, and I was putting them on, so I'm glad you picked these.
I knew I would.
Yeah.
You would, I mean.
Yeah. All right, now this one is a different story. The Perfect Couple. So I think I kind of
I
told you
felt
about
like
this one.
I felt like that title was the opposite of what it was actually going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So Celeste and Benji are getting married.
Celeste.
Yes, her name is Celeste. They started dating, and then they're getting married, and they are getting married like 4th of July weekend. And they moved it up because her mom has breast
So
cancer.
this is our world.
Yeah. And they moved it up because her mom has breast cancer. And so they don't know how much longer she's gonna, be here. So they moved it up, and at the wedding, or night before their wedding, her best friend and maid of honor gets killed. Her name's Merritt. And, so it kind of jumps around a little bit. Like it jumps between the police doing interviews and then like the people who are there, and I don't know. It was just, the writing was weird. Like in it, it's like written in third person. I don't know if you remember that. Like what,
Yeah.
like the difference between that.
Yeah.
It's written in third person.
I don't.
So
like
it's like Celeste did that. Celeste did
Yeah,
this.
see, I don't like that.
But it's also saying Celeste felt like she was this. And then like, so it's like giving you like a first person view, like it's saying like how she felt, but it's in third person. So it was hard for me to grasp.
I don't like that.
So like the ending it was just disappointing.
Yeah.
You know,
Sounds,
and it was
sounds
all
like I would
weird.
have lost
It was
interest
weird.
immediately.
Yeah. Like you don't meet the couple until more than halfway through the book. That's so weird. And then the way it was written,
It'd be hard to stay interested in that.
Yeah, so I only gave this one 2 stars. It had something going, but it just didn't meet what I liked. So I didn't like it.
Doesn't sound good at all.
No. And then the last one is Jane Eyre. This is the classic.
The classic, yeah.
Yeah. And this one I gave 5 stars. 4.5, 5 stars. It was really good.
Well, which is it? 4.5 or 5?
I want to give it 5 because it's a classic. But I think I'm leaning more towards 4.5. Because it was really good and I really liked it. But it's about a girl named Jane. She puts an advertisement out to try and find a job as a governess. You know what a governess is?
Governess?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a female governor?
No. a governess is like in the old times, the teachers that they would like have live in with them, and they're just there to teach the kids.
They would live in their home with them?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard
Yeah,
that in my life.
rich people back in those days would do it, and they would
I thought
have
that was just a nanny.
a governess. No, because she's not really like taking care of the kids. Well, come to find out, he is already married, and his wife, he keeps his wife in the attic,
Oh my goodness.
but she's crazy.
So?
She's crazy. Like
that ain't no excuse.
she
You're
attacks.
crazy and I'm gonna keep you in the attic.
I'm horse crazy. Not crazy. She's crazy. So, overall, you did a good job picking. Yeah. So I think 3 5 stars out of 4 is pretty good.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Other than perfect couple.
Can't win them all.
No. Would you do this again?
Yeah, sure.
Would you pick more for me?
No, I don't know nothing. I'm just blind guessing. So.
If I picked you books to read, would you read them? Oh man.
I don't read books. I don't have time to read.
I see some videos of wives they'll make their husband read like some of our like romance stuff. Just to see their
I don't
reaction.
have time to do that even if I wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be funny. It'd be funny to see your reaction to some of them. Some of the ones that I've read. Alright, so that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you, Michael, for being in our video. And like this video if you'd like to see more videos with Michael, or if you liked this video, comment down below. I don't know, what should they comment below? A deer emoji. Comment a deer emoji if you made it this far, or maybe a bow and arrow, maybe both.
Sounds good.
There you go. Subscribe if you want more content from me, and until then, God bless you. Happy trails. Bye.
Thanks
Yes,
for
thank
watching.
you. Just say,
What?
God bless you.
God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
That's funny.
Just teach them.
Hey, we're doing a video. Where are you going?
Okay, go.
Where's your brother? Why aren't you out there with him?
Take Franklin outside.
Take Franklin outside.
Okay, I think we're ready. Okay. So I think I'm gonna stand right here, and then I'll go behind you and let you pick.
Okay.
Okay?
So you gotta talk?
Yeah. Alright, I gotta fix myself up first. Okay.
Am I supposed to look at the camera or you?
Yeah, in the camera.
This is so corny.
I think it's fun. Okay. Are you gonna say anything too?
You gotta edit this out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not really.
I can chop everything and move it around.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm Michael.